was a time when a man could walk into a barbershop, sit back and relax and escape the cares of the day, while a skilled craftsman turned his look from mountain man to classy gentleman. Well, neighbor, that time is now at Hanley's Good Timin' Barbershop. At Hanley's, they specialize in men's haircuts, including beard trims and classic straight razor shaves. They won't forget that hot towel either. You can schedule an appointment on their website at hanleysbarbershop.com. That's HANLEYS barbershop.com. Located in San Marcos, Texas at 322 West Hopkins between Selleck's and Gumby's Pizza, right in the old Thomas house. When you get there, talk to old Dal and let him know the boys at What's On My Mind podcast sent you, and you'll get a complimentary cold one or shot of whiskey. Hanley's Good Timin' Barbershop, where good times meet good vibes. Hey, this is Rob T.
Hey, this Big Will.
The week is almost through,
And there's a lot we've thought through.
and we just want to share it with you. Some of it may be motivational,
Some inspirational.
but it will always be sensational. So sit back
And relax.
and check out What's on My Mind. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here this week. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful New Year. This
Yes.
is Rob T.
This Big Will.
And starting fresh this year, we have...
Melissa.
And you're listening to What's on My Mind. We are very excited. Our first show of 2021.
Yes.
How was your New Year's, Will?
You know what? It was fun because I was at home, safe, not doing a single thing.
Yeah, us too, isn't that right?
Yeah, we didn't want to go anywhere. It was rainy, it was gross, it was cold.
I will tell you one thing, since I'm living in Houston now.
Yeah.
It wasn't raining
Oh, really?
and it wasn't cold.
Oh, wow.
And everybody in my community just blew fireworks like crazy. And I was just like, oh my kids are trying to sleep.
Wow.
I bet it was humid, though, wasn't it?
It was really humid. But you
Yeah.
know what? I don't care. I have AC, so
Yeah,
I'm good.
that's-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Houston. God bless you, Houston. Love you, but you are the armpit of Texas.
Muggy and stinky.
I'm sorry. I lived in Houston for a year. I lived in Pasadena. So I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we are very excited to be doing our first show of 2021.
We made it.
We made it. Yeah.
made it.
We're still alive.
Yep.
And God, to you be the honor and glory, but
Yes.
have not gotten COVID.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
God willing.
And hey man, it's a new year and there's a lot of stuff happening right now. And
Yep.
Last week we had a show where we kind of talked about 2020. We kind of all wrapped it up and everything. So what we wanted to do this week was something a little different, because I think it was a great show last week, but to be honest, we kind of left it on a little bit of a downer, because 2020, let's be honest, was a very challenging year.
It was challenging.
Yeah, so we definitely want to we need some hope.
Yep.
We need to bring
Lots
some.
of it.
We need to bring some hope. But
Yep.
But listen, before we do that, though, I wanted to take the first part of the show because for those of y'all that don't know, we made a decision that starting this year, 2021, we were going to have a new addition to the show, and that is my lovely wife, Melissa,
Yeah.
who's going to be co-hosting with us. And so what I wanted to do on this show, and I told her to get ready, is that we were going to basically do a little get to know session. So for our listeners out there, this way you can get to know a little bit about Melissa.
Yes.
Just, you're going to get to know her as the time comes anyway, because you're going to be hearing her opinions. She's going to be talking about stuff. And I had a talk with her, Will, and I told her after last week's show, I said, anytime we are on the air doing this show, do not hold back. Let her loose. You say your opinions, whatever they may be. And the rule is, just like the rule that you and I had when we first started this thing, was that even if we were to get heated during the podcast, once the podcast is over, we're done. It's no more being heated or anything like that, because it's just for the show.
Once it's over, it's over.
Exactly.
So, but I remember I told you a while back too, I don't do political
Yes,
or
I know.
religious debates
I know.
because I see it as a waste of time.
All right. I know. I
So-
got you.
True.
So if that
I don't like to get into those debates either, honestly, just because
Yeah.
people have too much difference of opinion.
Yeah.
And they just get so bullheaded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a super personal thing, your faith, what you believe. A lot of times, people's political views are tied in with their religious
their
views.
faith.
So speaking against it's almost like speaking against the person,
Yeah.
even though it's a
Right.
difference of opinion. That's why there's so much division right now. Just
True.
people, so
True.
I don't do that. There's
True.
just, after a while, it becomes a peeing contest.
Yeah, literally. Who can go to far? Who
You can
goes
say
the longest?
pissing contest. It's
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's allowed and what's not. I'm
You
gonna
can
have
say
to learn here.
pissing contest. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's cool. It's cool. It's all about who can go longer.
It's a TTing contest.
Oh my god.
It's a tinkling contest.
Anyway, yeah, no, and I totally understand that. So I guess if at any time it does get political or anything like that, you don't have to say anything. You already know I will.
Hey, I will say one thing though. You just do like I do. Just stay quiet. And just chime in every other word or every other
Yeah.
phrase or something. Just
See, I can give death looks. Like I have, I can at least give him the look while he's doing
I'll
it.
make sure not to look in that direction.
That never helps.
it's kind of hard because you're sitting right next to her.
True.
She's just gonna
Not
pinch
only
you or
that,
something.
she has
My death look bores into his soul.
dude, she has this look. I am not kidding you. This look that she'll give me, I don't have to be looking at her. I can feel it.
Wow.
So it's like I feel like two things just boring into my skull, just like if she was Superman or something, and the heat vision eyes.
Visioning you. She's seeing your soul and she's like, stop.
Yeah. So anyway, but
We should
yeah,
have brought on the show a long time ago if that was the case. Jesus Christ. Secrets, people. Secrets.
So anyway, but yeah, so let's start off a little bit. Melissa, what would you like for the listeners to know? Just something small about
See,
you.
this is why I asked you, like, hey, what are you going to ask me tonight?
I told you I was gonna go on the fly.
Dude, there's going to be like dead air
So-
because I'm not good on my feet.
So, Melissa, I'm going to tell you one thing that you're going to have to learn about Rob. He does no prep and
Yeah, I
no
know.
research. Except for one time.
I already forgot what
Actually,
show it
two
was.
times
What
he
was
did
it?
the research.
What was it?
In our 18-month listening career, he's
I
only
already forgot.
researched twice.
What was it I researched?
The first one he researched was Joshua Gonzalez
Oh yeah,
from Salvador.
yeah. I did do some research there.
And then the second one was Relent.
Relent. Yeah,
Only two.
the two celebrities is the one I researched on.
And the thing is, too, is that I'm not like an extroverted talkative,
I know, I
so
know.
hey, what do you want people to know about you?
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'll start it. I will say this.
Send me a text, Melissa. I would have.
I will say this. So the one thing I love about my wife is that she is very smart, and she's very educated. She does have a degree with Texas State. She has a psychology degree.
Bobcats.
I are so smart.
Yeah, she's very smart. So,
SMRT.
so that's that. And the other thing too,
SRMT.
SMRT.
old cartoon. Anyway,
Not that old.
but I will say this: the reason why I was really excited about her being on this show is because her and I do have very great conversations, and kind of like that time when you and I were talking and said this would be a great podcast,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's the same thing on a whole different level, mind you, but
Right.
we have great conversations, and so I was like, yeah, this would be a good idea because she's got great input on a lot of subjects, and we don't always agree. I mean, that's how it is when you're married, Yeah, you have a lot of things in common, but there are a lot of other things that you don't necessarily have in common. One that right off the bat, I grew up in church, as you know. I grew up very religious. I grew up very Pentecostal.
Pentecostals.
Yeah, she didn't. So there's a lot of stuff sometimes that we deal with or that I deal with where I need a different perspective than the one box that I'm used to being
Of course,
in.
yeah, I'm the same
You know what I'm
way.
saying? And so
I'm the same way.
And so having her there, dude, it shines a whole different light on whatever it is that I'm dealing with at that time or what we're talking about. So that was another reason why I wanted to have her on the show because I know she's going to bring a fresh perspective. And it ain't even about a female perspective.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna be very, very, very honest.
What?
So, when she came on the show, the few times she's been on the show,
Yeah.
I listened to her take. I'm like, she got good ideas, good concepts, and
Right.
she talks. You know what I'm saying? And then when the Relent episode in
Right.
Christmas, she threw out that question like, "Dang, where did that come from?" Usually,
Yeah.
I have to send Rob a text, "Hey, ask this, ask that, and this, that, and the other."
Yeah.
And then you just do it. I was like, "Damn, I was just about to send that to Rob." I'm like, "All right, this is pretty cool." And the cool thing, though, is I will honestly say is, I think Melissa has that different and yes, I am going to say it. Okay, she has that female perspective that as a guy we just lack. Let's just call it like we see it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like that part of your brain that's missing.
Right.
That's yeah.
That's why.
That's lacking.
That's why God says the two shall become one. So
That's right. That's
Just
right.
kidding. Just
she helps me
kidding.
be a.
She completes you.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. She makes me not look so dumb.
Well,
So anyway, but yes, she's from Victoria, Texas.
I am.
She's
born and
originally.
raised?
Yes, actually, I was born and raised in Victoria, and then I went up to San Marcos for college and just kind of stayed there.
Nice. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, I mean, I love San Marcos. I mean, it's growing. It's it's changed a lot in the past 10 years or so.
Oh yeah, it's changed a lot. It's part of my daughter. She's running around screaming.
I was like, "What is that noise?"
They're playing with our dog, and I just see that tail go, and she's like, "Attention, attention! People are playing with me."
Yeah. So for those that don't know, we record the podcast in our dining room, and Will's children are here with us today. So that's the noise you'll be hearing in the background, and you'll also probably be hearing my dog running around. So just letting y'all know, FYI, in case you're wondering, what is that going on in the back? Who's killing who?
Who's killing who and what? What's that cat getting killed in the back?
So anyway, but yeah, so Melissa moved to San Marcos, like I said, where she got her degree. And then last year, 2020, we moved to Seguin.
Oh yes.
So I don't even know what the word is for a Seguin resident. Seguinian?
I don't know.
I know for San Marcos, it was San Martians.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
San Martians?
San
I've never heard of
Martians,
that
San
one.
Martians, yeah.
But for Seguin, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't
but
think nobody claims it.
probably. That's
I'm
probably.
from San Martian.
Siginian, yeah.
So, but anyway, we've been married for 13 years.
Yes.
We celebrated our 13-year anniversary in December.
December 12th.
15.
50. I was so
I was like, wait, what?
No, 15th. So yes, we've been married for 13 years. So I think it's pretty safe to say we know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, just 13 years, you learn a lot about a person.
you
would
hope
hope so, yeah.
You hope so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, having said all that, I am really glad you're on the show,
Yes.
and I look forward to many episodes. And man, I just can't wait. Some of these ideas that we have to see.
wait.
Yeah,
I just can't
it's gonna
wait.
be good.
I just can't wait. I can't wait for that first couple arguments. And you just gonna be on the air, but it's going,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
Rob. Actually, I don't see Melissa being that kind of person. I'd say, Rob, no.
No, it takes a lot. Like, I'm a pretty even-tempered person. It takes you have to keep pushing me to get to that point. But once I'm at that point,
It's hard. It's gone.
Yeah, I've only gotten that far a couple of times in my life. And
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It is nuclear.
The interesting thing is, her and I being married 13 years, she's only gotten that angry, like that level of angry with me, maybe twice.
Possibly.
But I once for
that's
sure.
like-
That's
That's
funny
like-
because she says she's done it 3 times in
Yeah,
her life.
yeah.
And you just said 2 times it with you.
Yeah, once that I know it for sure.
She got it down.
Once that I know it for sure.
And that was like bass in the voice, like
Yeah,
Must have been a bad thing.
yeah, tears flowing down the face, and just real angry. Yeah, it was. I don't like thinking about that.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Man, you can just keep moving. So, Melissa,
Yeah.
you play an instrument, right?
So if you ever walk through the house and it looks like a great wind has blown
has
through,
blown
and-
through,
some
then we
thunder,
understand.
yeah.
We understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes,
Rob's quiet, sitting in the corner.
Rocking back and forth.
Thumb in his mouth.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. But I do play an instrument. I mostly play bass. Play minimal like guitar, piano. I love to sing. That's
But
my-
what did you play before
before what?
when you were in school?
Oh, I mean, I was like in band. I did jazz, all that. I played I had played the Barry saxophone. I played French horn, bass clarinet. Once you learn like excuse me. I'm so sorry about that. I'm like dropping my mic over here.
It's top heavy, so
My
feel bad.
goodness, yeah. This seems kind of twig. I think that's just like my perspective.
It is.
No, but
It is. Trust me.
so what was I even talking about before I started dropping this thing?
You were talking about playing in the band.
Yeah. Once you learn an instrument, in different families, then a lot of the other instruments are pretty much similar. But yeah, I've studied music for a long time. I love it. But singing's my main thing.
Who doesn't like singing?
Right?
I don't like
Yes,
singing.
but she can sing.
See, that's the thing. There's people who like it but don't
Right.
do it.
Right.
I've heard Melissa sing. She was actually on our.
I might.
She's like, that's an understatement. She was on our Sound for the Crown tour episode, and she sang at the end of the show.
She did. She did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
that was a fun show.
I never like to say I'm a good singer because when you say you're a good singer, people start expecting like Mariah, and then when you don't sound like that, then they're disappointed and like, oh, they're crappy. They're so full of themselves.
Well,
funny.
Mariah doesn't sound like Mariah.
I know Mariah doesn't. That is so sad.
I would
or
say-
who's Ariana Grande or
Who?
But what you have to
Who?
realize is
Okay,
all
I don't listen to that music,
studio-
but she can blow.
all that studio music though. You know that, right?
Huh?
It's all studio effects. They don't actually
No, but
sound
she-
that way. It's EQs and compressors and different factors that they put into their voices to make them sound that way.
Yeah, but look at Ariana Grande like God, I said like too much. I need to watch that.
But you have to realize though, is they use those same effect processors, the same effect EQs when they're performing live. That's why they have a same stage mic, because it's already preset to understand what they want. That's why they have the
Yeah.
same sound guy, the same sound equipment, because it's all pre-programmed. You know
the
what I'm saying?
mixes, yeah, but you can't fake runs.
She's got a point there.
You can't fake a run, but you can make the run
That's
sound
that's what
pretty.
I'm talking about, though. Like the talent that goes behind that. Yeah, you can mix anybody's voice and make it sound good, but when you really look at the technique, the runs, the crispness of it all,
Crispness.
the crisp,
She wanted to make sure she
Christmas.
enunciated.
crisp. That's yes, exactly.
That was good. Oh man. So anyway,
So yeah,
so you're a musician. You're a singer. You love to read.
I do love to read very, very much.
And what I
I
discovered,
love horror movies too.
yeah, she loves to read. Well, she's got a passion for reading. We went out to dinner on Sunday, and we were talking about reading. And man, I really got to see. Yep, my wife's passionate about reading, which is awesome. That's great. I like reading comics. So
Hey, comics are
reading.
fun too. We're still
Yeah.
reading.
It's a story.
yeah. So, but anyway, okay. Well, I think that's some pretty good information. Just a little something for people to get to know you. So let's kind of go into our topic.
Uh-oh.
And since we've already kind of got you warmed up now, do you see any hope in 2021? I
Hey,
mean,
that was
We
fast.
have to.
yeah, I mean, okay, that's a fair statement. We have to. We have to. I mean, like, there's no choice. But I'm saying in general, because let's be real, we got people out there right now that are probably living in fear. Don't want to catch the COVID. Whatever the case may be. And here we are going into 2021, and it's not like the quote unquote pandemic is over or anything like that. I mean, what do you say to someone that's living like that doesn't want to go outside, that doesn't, I mean, you and I know people in our lives that are like that. They don't want to go anywhere. They just want to stay inside because they're afraid of catching COVID.
I'll say this. If somebody chooses to stay inside because they're afraid, then you know what? That's their thing. I can't control how somebody feels about COVID, how they want to deal with it.
Right.
If they're able to stay inside, then that's completely their choice.
Correct.
When it comes to fear, let me say this. Responding to your question, I feel like we're at a point where we can do nothing but at least start taking steps forward. We're already in that space. We've gone through the whole shock of COVID. We went through the straight up quarantine. We've started kind of moving forward a bit. There's little closures, little steps back and forth, but
Yeah.
at least there's steps. We're
True.
not at that standstill. So now where do we go from here? So
I think this go around, because I'm sure everybody knows this by now. They're talking about it on media and everything, that this is the second round, right? The second round, and they're talking about closures again and all this other stuff.
I know
But-
the state of California is closed.
Yeah, but here's the difference though, and y'all tell me what you think about this. But from what I've been noticing, the people of this country are fed up. They're tired of the closures. They're tired of having to be locked in their homes. And I see a lot of, I don't know if uprising is the right word, but definitely a lot of people that are more ready to not follow the rules, if you will.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And I've been seeing a lot of that. And there's passionate people on both sides. You know what I mean? This past holiday, I got into a discussion with a family member about it, and she felt one way and I felt the other. And both of us were very passionate about our sides. But as you stated before, there's really no winning in that discussion. Because
each side has their points.
Right,
You just
exactly.
can't, yeah.
Exactly. And it's like you said, you can't force a loved one or a friend to, believe the way you do, regardless of whatever it is. If you may have this thought of someone that stays home, doesn't want to leave because they're afraid to catch. And I get it. I have a family member of mine who does not want to go anywhere because that family member believes in their heart of hearts that if they catch it, they're done.
Wow.
They're done. This family member believes because of their age, because of their health and the little health issues that they have, they honestly believe that they catch it, they're done. So they'd rather stay home.
That's funny because we all know I have medical issues, right?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine,
Not just
Tony-
medical. Sorry.
what's up?
Nothing.
No, I really didn't hear it. Sorry. I was sitting here kicking my mic.
I said not just medical.
Anyways, so some of the medical issues I have. So a friend of mine, back when all this started rolling out,
Yeah.
more like the summertime, they were just like, "Hey, you should be able to take care of yourself. We looking at how to take care because apparently or whatever COVID affects people like me and whatever." I'm just like, whatever, dude, I don't care. And then I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, granted, I wasn't the mask guy. I work from
Yeah.
home. I don't wear a mask.
Yeah.
I go to the store. Oh crap! I'm the guy who has to go back to the car to get the mask because he
Right.
forgets it 9 times out of 9.
Right. Right.
And it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
But then I looked it up. Because they were very big on in telling me you need to look it up, research it, and your medical condition, what you have. And I started looking up. I was like, man, you know what? I don't believe that. Granted, yeah. Let's just say on a hypothetical. I do get it. Yeah, I did knock on wood.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go through the symptoms, go through the cycle, go through whatever, but it ain't gonna affect me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It ain't gonna put me 6 feet under.
Right.
That's just how my mentality is.
Right.
But I'm also the guy who, yes, I do believe COVID exists, but I just don't believe it does as much bad as people are saying it does because I've never experienced it.
And here's the thing. I'm one of those that I agree with you. But I say that, I realize I got to be careful when I say that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying COVID's not real. I
Neither am I.
know that it's real. I lost an uncle because of COVID. I've lost. Why are you laughing at my uncle? I said I lost my uncle and he laughed.
So
What the hell?
You say that, right? And the first thing that came to my head was that meme last week that John showed us. Remember?
Oh yeah.
With the guy with sorry,
It's
inappropriate
okay.
laugh.
Yeah,
but,
I know. It's okay. No. I'm just saying that I know it's real because I did lose I did lose an uncle. Not only did I lose an uncle, but I've come across friends. And here's the other thing: I have a cousin, right, that got COVID. He's good. He didn't pass away or anything like that, but now he has respiratory issues, right? So I'm not downplaying the sickness at all. I'm not. But what I am saying is that what we're being told as far as numbers, as far as all that data, in my opinion, and I say that again, in my opinion,
in your non-professional opinion,
correct. In my opinion, I believe they're inflated.
Oh, I know the numbers.
I
are
believe
inflated.
they're inflated because, honestly, in my opinion, they want to keep us all scared.
correct. I think it is. I personally think they're using it as fear mongering.
Yes.
But I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Right.
Because COVID is very real.
Right.
But I just think the numbers are twice. But plus, you also realize this is when they're starting to say, "Oh, Texas had a 90% increase or whatever." You know what I'm saying? That's nice, a high number. Let's just say 40% increase in numbers.
Right.
40% of what? Carolina?
Yeah,
You know,
what are you comparing
Louisiana,
it? What are you
Okay, they
comparing
mean
it?
40% of what it already was before. That's whenever they're saying an increase, like
Right.
it's increased by 40%.
Gotcha.
Right, but we get that because it's a continual running data. But then when you start getting people who says that COVID in Texas is greater than Louisiana and Michigan and New York and whatever, you're like, but look at the size of those states. We have twice the people. You know, just like you know, our friend from the Netherlands. You know, they were saying that their numbers have been high, whatever. But then her comment was not as high as Texas. I'm like, but we have more people than you.
Yeah.
Of course, we're gonna have higher numbers than
Right,
you.
right,
You know,
right.
Let's
Yeah.
use the metrics. You actually use the mathematics to break it down correctly.
Right. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
She's
Yeah, I
thinking
think
so.
it's better just to kind of look by the region, look at the actual numbers rather than playing with, percentages.
Yeah.
And because data like that can always be, manipulated in some way or in another. But when you're actually looking at, okay, this is how many cases are in this area. This is how many cases, are current. This is how many have, I don't know what word they use right off the top of my head, but basically the ones that have completed, people who are over the COVID, how many tests are pending. That's where you can kind of get the best. Because, when you start playing with, oh, yeah, this is a percentage of that, or this is as much as this state, then, you have to look at the actual facts, the numbers rather than the propaganda.
And that's what's so hard right now.
Yeah.
Is basically to tell the difference between
Well, you can't
what's
tell the numbers.
fact and what's inflated.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest. So the one thing that I was really big on last year in 2020 is I did watch a lot of the news. Man, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Because
But there's yeah.
well, I mean,
Well, no, because I agree with him. You don't know who to trust anymore.
Exactly.
Everything's
Exactly.
partisan, nowadays. And I once told Rob, partisan news is not news.
That's
right,
correct.
Yeah.
Right. A crazy thing about it was today, I happened to we have this new app on our smart TV. And I was actually able to see like some channels from New York and stuff.
Oh, no way.
And there were some channels from Canada. And I was talking with my cousin who lives with us, and we were checking out a Canadian channel, and it was a news channel that was on. And just a brief little moment that they were, because it was a reporter reporting from the rally that's going on in Washington or whatever right now.
There's a rally in Washington.
There's a bunch of Trump supporters that are in Washington, D.C.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
We gotta
anyway,
talk about that later.
Anyway, but just the statement that she said in that little bit of time, just because we just wanted to see what a Canadian news thing looked like, right? That was it. And she was just saying everything that she said was so like already leaning one way. You know what I mean? Like the words and everything that she was saying is already, she was already making statements that were trying to make you look at the president in a bad light, And it was like, wow, just in the few seconds we were listening, it was already very, left. Because let's be real, that's what it was. It was a left leaning side, reporting. So it's like that exactly what you're saying. It's like you can't really trust anybody right now. So it's like I'm not even wanting to watch the news. Even with the whole talking about the numbers and COVID and stuff, I'm not even paying attention. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to pray and just believe God that he's going to protect me and my family and be as careful as I can whenever I do leave the house. If I have to wear a mask places, I'm going to wear my mask. If I go to work in the office, of course I have to wear my mask. I'm just going to do what I need to do to live, basically. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to leave the rest of that in God's hands, So that's pretty much how I'm going into this 2021. You know what I mean? I'm not going to feed into the negativity.
Yeah, not gonna fight the lies.
Yeah, I'm not going to live in fear. I don't think I've ever asked you this question, and I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
Do you fear getting COVID?
Ooh, that's a good
No,
question.
not really. I don't really fear it. I'm not saying, again, because you know me.
Yeah.
I know that it's there. I know that it's not something to be toyed with.
Right.
I go about my life, the same as when it first started. Just like I do what I can.
Yeah.
I wear my mask where my mask is required. I wash my hands. I try my best to social distance. I'm not perfect for sure.
of course.
We've had family gatherings and
Yes.
stuff, and I go to work. or for the most part, I stay home, but I'm still working in an office twice a week. All I can do is, all any of us can do really
Yeah.
is just live our life.
And
And
you're
we
very-
just have to do the best that we can.
She's really good about wearing her mask. She's better than I am.
I've gotten to the point where I'm used to it.
Man.
And it's actually, especially when I am out and about for some reason, when I come home for a few minutes, I feel weird. Like, oh, I need to put my mask on.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's like that. They trained you already.
It's just, I mean, there are times I even forget I have it on. Like, where if I get in my
Interesting.
car, I'm going from one place to another, like, oh yeah, my mask
So,
is on.
I had to make a compromise within myself. This is just myself, right?
Right.
So like what I do is because if I go into a restaurant, I'll have my mask on, but when I leave, I take it off.
You know, I don't understand. I want to just throw this out to the room, right?
Okay.
So I don't get how you walk in a restaurant, you put your mask on.
Right.
You sit at your table, you take your mask off. But yet you have to go to the restroom, you got to put your mask back on.
Yeah.
But then you get back to the table, it's
That's-
airborne.
That's the
I get
Corona
ya.
bubble.
You know what I'm saying? It's airborne.
I
It's
guess
not- they're
because
not-
you're
they're not-
walking by more people.
They're not covered. You're not sitting
No,
in a
it's
bubble.
it's ridiculous. It really is.
It's a dumb rule.
It is because they're not even taking into consideration, like you said, it's airborne, right?
Right.
There's an air conditioning system. There's,
Yeah.
it's like
and they're walking by
Yeah,
the servers,
it's-
which means they're blowing wind by
they
their steps.
they touch your food when they cook it. It's like
It's
Well,
they use-
impossible to be 100%
It's-
sterile. It
exactly.
just you can't
Exactly.
and not function. The only way was it John who said it would be that 1 month 100% quarantine,
Yes.
nobody move.
yes, but we
which
would
is
not.
impossible.
We would not survive as a nation if we did that.
We barely survived the first
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. But I'm with you. I'm not fearful of getting COVID at all. I'm not. But I will be honest and say that I have my moments where how can I say, like, great example. We know people, you and I know people that have had COVID.
Okay.
Right.
Oh yes.
And then and they're good. They like month later and they're good, right? My family is a good example because they had COVID. But for that split second when you see them, you're just kind of like,
You still good?
you good?
You know what I heard? I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard you can't get COVID twice.
I actually wanted to look into that because I've heard both ways. I heard that you
Yeah.
can't get it, but then I heard somebody could get it twice. I don't know the data on that. I need to
Google that.
I need to look that
Well,
up or ask some of my.
Is she really gonna trust Google?
Not really.
You can't.
It's like trust the media, right?
Exactly.
Where's WebMD?
You can trust WebMD? Nah.
WebMD, you're
Where's-
gonna die.
Where's my doctor friends out there who
Yes,
can weigh
all
in
of-
on this?
all of our doctor
Healthcare
listeners,
professionals.
let's go.
Healthcare
Pick up the phone,
professionals.
Give us a ringy.
Right.
Not people who graduated from Google University.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Where are my
Exactly.
healthcare professionals at?
Yeah,
Give
so
us
you-
some.
You know what's funny is a friend of mine had COVID, right, in the summer. And
I was very good. Well, get out. I was kidding.
but we're good. So they had COVID in the summer, but it's funny because they had it, then their kids got it,
Right.
and then they passed, and then their job required them to get another COVID test prior to going back, so they had to have 2 tests.
Yeah.
So the second test came back negative. The first one came back positive. The second one came back negative. Wait, first one came back negative. The second one came back positive. I said
Right.
it backwards. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but anywho, so then they had to get quarantined again for 14 more days, right?
Right.
But then they got the test again. It came back negative. Then they got the test again the second time. It came back negative. But they took the test after 6 days. They didn't wait the 14 days.
Huh.
And it was just like, But then it makes you wonder what's really going on because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Was it a false positive?
I totally get it.
They can't. I've heard of those happening,
Yeah.
especially if it's those. I know they say those quick tests, the ones that you can get the results.
Yeah.
Those are the ones
rapid
that are
results.
you can get false negatives and false positives.
Right.
But
Which,
those
why
are,
even get it?
but those are at a 80% positive, a correct answer now. Because
they?
Yeah, because when my daughter, she had close contact in October, was it right?
Yes.
In October, so I had to Google a 24-hour exam or whatever. I found a clinic in Austin, and we went. And they said it was like 80-something% that it's accurate. I'm like 80% accurate, 20% inaccurate. I'm going with the 80. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went in there and we took it. Obviously, she didn't have it, you know. But then the lady was like, "Look, because see, that only works if you get exposed to it. For example, like on a Monday, but you have to have the test done within 3 to 4 days. After that 3 to 4 day
okay,
window,
okay.
then the chances of it being incorrect is greater. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the way they process the Q-tip that you stick up your nose, it changes in that time span.
I thought for a second there that maybe you got the thing up your nose. You went,
Dude, those things suck. I
hate
remember
those things.
I had to have one years back. Remember what was it?
H1N1.
Yeah, the H1N1.
yeah,
Oh,
swine
yeah.
flu.
Yeah.
I got the flu one year. And
the other
they had to
virus that
give-
was going to kill us.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And they had
Shut
to,
everything down.
they had to put that thing up my nose.
I
and,
saw that when that happened.
it's
I
like
was
they poke
there.
your brain.
It feels when it. So I've had a
When
COVID
they
test.
stuck it up her nose, her arm went.
Like my leg kicked. They pushed like some weird nerve in my brain, made me do a jig.
It's that reflex man. I had a COVID test back in, was it October when I went to the hospital?
Yeah.
I had a COVID test done
Yeah.
then. I'm not gonna lie to you. The lady goes, I need you to lean back. We're gonna stick this big old huge long Q-tip like a foot long. I was like, where you gonna put that at? And she was like, we're gonna stick that up your nose. Whew.
And you think, oh, that's no big deal.
That's a big deal. And she's talking about, I was like, oh my God, it's a big deal. Because it was like, it felt like 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she was like, I had it even there for 2 minutes. I was just like, 2 minutes is too long. Come on, man.
They have to
Stick
hold it
put
there for
back.
2 minutes?
That's what she said. But it
Oh, it was about like...
was probably like 30 seconds. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they just have to kind of get the sample. I was like, wait a minute.
But I mean, because it went in and then she pushed it all the way in.
Yep.
I was just like, oh my God, did you just scratch my brain? And then she put it back. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
So here's a question for you. You going to get the vaccine,
No.
Melissa?
I might. I'm kind of wanting to see how everybody else reacts
She wants
to
to see if anybody's going to turn into a zombie or something like that.
The zombie apocalypse comes to pass now. We got the COVID virus shot.
I'm not taking the vaccine.
It's two, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, You get one and then you get the second
Here's
one.
the thing.
And it's the second one that kicks your butt.
Now, here's the thing, though. I'm not taking the vaccine, but it has nothing to do with the whole, they have a microchip in there, and it's
Yeah.
it's nothing.
That's same
it's
here,
not.
same here.
It's not conspiracy theory related.
Wait, aren't you a conspiracy theorist? You can't say that statement. You can't make that statement.
No. The reason why I'm not taking it is because, dude, I haven't taken a flu vaccine.
Yeah, same here.
You know what I mean? I took a flu vaccine once in my life, and I got sick.
Me too.
And because of that, I never wanted to take it again.
Me too.
I never did. And I may have had the flu maybe once. And that was back, oh my God, the last time I got the vaccine was probably like 1999, maybe 2000. It was that long ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And since then, I've only had the flu maybe once, maybe twice, something like that.
I'll be honest with you. I took the flu shot back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I was at Progressive, so I remember that.
Right.
And I took the shot, and I was like, okay, no big deal. I got dog face sick. I mean,
Yeah.
it was definitely ill sick. I was
Yeah.
like, why am I this way? And they're just like, oh, it's probably because you got the flu. I was just like, what? I just took a flu shot. I didn't know they injected you with the flu
Yeah.
to fight the flu. I was
Right.
like, stupid.
Yeah.
I've never taken a flu shot since then, and I've never had the flu since then.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
so that's the reason why I'm not taking it. It's not because of anything else. But to be fair though, I've seen some of those things on the internet where some people have taken it and then like 2 days later they look like death.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm not gonna take it. So not saying anything about y'all. They're gonna take it. Y'all want to take it? Go right ahead.
I got friends of mine. I'm not gonna say their names because they're gonna call me out if I say their names. They are like, so apparently, like the state of California is so bad, but they were requiring you to take the shot
Wow.
just to go to work.
Oh wow.
So people are refusing to take the shot because it violates the civil liberties and blah 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 blah. Because
My body, my choice.
right. So they believe the whole there's a chip in it and this, that, and the
Yeah.
other. And then what you just said is also segue to something else that we're not going to go into.
Sweet Lord.
Yeah, we can't go into that. My wife hates it when I go down that rabbit hole.
We're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
They're going to put a tracking device in me, tweeted from my literal tracking device. Like, wait till you hear about smartphones.
It's funny. People don't realize is when they put a chip in you, right? You can be like, I'm making Facebook posts, but how am I making Facebook posts? I'm not touching my phone.
That would be weird. That would be
put in
really
you.
weird.
Just think it, and it'll.
That'd be kind of cool though. But you can't. You're just doing this all day long. Like, what's you pointing at? I don't know. But he's looking at something crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be nuts. So COVID, I think, is going to be a big. It's still going to be a big part of this year. Now, I do hope and pray that it will be gone, before the year is up.
So
But-
let me ask both of you guys a question.
Okay.
And this is a serious question. It may come across as kind of funny. So, you know how you both just said possible no on taking the shot?
Yes.
So, in your mindset, does that mean you're an anti-vaxxer because you refuse to take the shot? On you because you take the shot?
No.
I thought anti-vaxxers are more about
Against all
like
vaccines.
completely against vaccines. Like you're putting poison in your body.
No, I'm not against.
You're kind
I'm-
of agree.
Well, no.
the same path.
No.
Well, no, because for me, like I said, it's new. It's something that I'm not familiar with. I just want to see, not that I don't think it's safe, but I guess I just want to see how other people. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I mean, I took vaccines as a kid. If I
Same
had
here.
kids, I would take them to get vaccinated.
Same here.
I've
too.
never had a flu shot, but it's not because I have any moral problem with it. I just honestly never got around to it. I've had the flu once, and I definitely wished I didn't have it. When I did have it, it took me to the hospital. But yeah, I mean, having questions about one vaccine does not make you an anti-vaxxer.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, she thought I was an anti-vaxxer, but I was
Because
like,
there was a statement you made that made it sound like you were an
not an
anti-vaxxer.
What was that
Anti-vaxxer.
statement he made? I'm curious now.
I honestly don't remember. I honestly
Protecting
don't.
Rob.
No, like I'm serious. I don't remember what exactly it was he said. The way I looked at
Nah.
no, like the way I looked at him when he made that comment, I was like, "Are you an anti-vaxxer?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh well, no, but it's just I still don't remember what he was talking about."
dude,
to
I
this
thought
day.
I thought my marriage was over.
I was like, I can't.
That
dude.
look she gave me.
I'm all about you do you believe, everybody's entitled to their opinions, but that's what?
Yeah, I get you.
It's medical.
So what's funny is I bring up the anti-vaccine thing because that leads me to another thing. So chickenpox, simple,
Yeah.
small thing.
Yeah.
It was eradicated for years. For years to this.
Smallpox.
Yeah, smallpox as well. For years.
No, we still get chickenpox.
No, it hasn't. Because they have a chickenpox shot they give kids now. My kids have all taken it.
Yeah.
So it's basically the vaccinations that these kids are taking are to prevent smallpox and chickenpox now. So it's funny because these anti-vaxxers, since they refuse to give their kids these shots, they've literally have now brought back smallpox and brought back chickenpox.
Right.
And now, because chickenpox leads to shingles later on in life, so now shingles are coming back too. And we're just like,
It would suck to have shingles or shingles. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's almost like a dad joke. I mean, my bad. I'm sorry.
I honestly didn't really hear what you said, so I'm just like,
say it again.
I said it would suck to have shingles or shingles.
oh.
But
Ah.
Okay. Anyway, no, I get what you're saying. So no, we're not anti-vaxxers. Like she said, if we had kids, they would be taking their shots. That they're required to take before they go to school and all that stuff. But to be fair, those vaccines have been proven to like you said. I mean, we don't have smallpox anymore because of the vaccines and stuff like that. It's just with this whole COVID-19 thing. I mean, for me, it's like you said, it's new.
Everything is so new.
Yeah,
all
it's
of it.
it hasn't been tested thoroughly and plus to not to mention the fact that I still have my questions about the disease itself.
Yeah. for sure.
So it's like, like she said though, you want to take it, you go for it, have a ball, but me personally, I'm choosing I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I get you. I'm just saying, well, I'm not taking it.
yeah.
Well, now it's not even available to us right now anyway.
Right,
It won't be
really-
for
Yeah,
it won't be
it's-
for a few months because right now it's for
65
health.
and older, right?
Well, frontline healthcare workers
Yeah.
first, and then was it 65 and older? I believe.
Should have been politicians first.
Ooh, yeah. But you know what's funny if you think about it? How come politicians the politicians and the super rich aren't the first ones to take it?
Because they have the money.
I see
That's the money sign, yeah.
the money sign for us right now. But
Yeah.
but think about that. Wouldn't they be the best ones to put it on because they have the money and the resources to get it fixed if it didn't work?
No,
just saying.
they want. That's why
folk are guinea pigs.
That's why they want us to take it, because if it
That's why they're
takes
scaring us.
if it takes us out, they're still here.
fear mongering.
Yeah, that's
They keep putting fear, and they're getting us to, we got to get fixed. We got to get the cure. We got to get the cure.
I mean that's
It's on a cycle.
the elite. The rules don't apply to them.
That's true.
That's just how it is, unfortunately.
That's true.
So, but we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Not today.
That'll-
Not tonight.
I know we're talking about hope in 2021.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But going back on that whole
You are all sheep.
going back to that whole thing on hope and everything. The one thing I am looking forward to this year that I'm trusting and believing in God that it's going to happen is that we'll be able to play live music again.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
that
dope.
venues and stuff will open
So let me
up.
ask you this question.
Okay.
So what if they tell you can't play in the venue unless you get the COVID shot?
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have a lot of live stream shows.
Just saying.
Either that, or I'm just gonna.
See, that's my thing. I'm not like, I'm not getting it. If they tell me I need it, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah. See, I'm not that hardcore against it to where it would keep me from doing
Well,
something.
that's okay.
But again,
So let me make it clear. It's not that I'm against it. I'm against anybody telling me what to do. If I don't want to take something because I don't want to take it, you're not gonna make me take it.
Interesting concept.
I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Interesting concept.
That's honestly how I feel.
Hey, it's a good point. I mean, of course, we get told what to do every day when we go to work, but
But it's different.
It's different.
That's
You
different.
get paid
I get paid nicely to do what I'm supposed to do.
wow.
I like that. I get paid nicely.
I mean, yeah, it's like,
Exclamation point.
yeah, it's like, you're paying me to do a job. Okay, I'll do the job. But this is on a whole different level, though. It's like I don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. If it was like you're gonna die if you don't take this, then I probably would take it.
I still want to take it.
You know what I mean?
I'll be like, I'm dying happy.
Wow.
I'm for real. I mean, that's
See,
just
but
legit, though.
At what point, though, does it become about principle or about, no, you tell me what to do. I'm going to die. How do you like that?
No,
Yeah.
so it's not the fact that it's. I don't share the same point of view as Rob when it comes to. I don't like people telling me what to do. So if you were to tell me, my dog's all laughing. if you were to tell me, either take the shot or die. To me, in my mindset, I'd rather die, because it's not the point. It's not the fact of you're making me do something. You're forcing me. That just doesn't alleviate. So this is why my mindset is the way it is, and this is going to be really stupid.
Because you're hard headed.
No, that is people.
That's
would
what I'm
tell you
saying.
yes.
How,
But,
what point?
but here's the thing, though, is see, I relate everything to cars. Okay, and this is gonna sound really, really crazy. So I worked for an automobile dealership for about almost 11 years. Okay, so what's the first thing they taught you when you work in a dealership is that you never buy a car the first year it comes out. Why? Recalls, issues, problems, all the time. So I factor everything based on that logic. Why don't you take the first shot? Because there's going to be issues with it. They're not going to have the chemical balance correct. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. The testing wasn't done right. So I always waited. And to be honest with you, I've only bought one brand new car in my life. And that brand new car I bought, it was like years later. Like it was brand new with 0 miles on it. But it was like a fourth generation of it, because that first generation model had a lot of issues with it. It's known for transmission issues. It's known for this, that, and the other. And that's my logic. That's why I won't be the first one to just sign up and line up and take it. It's because I have that mentality, because I was raised in the automobile industry that way.
I get that.
I can see the thought process behind that, but those are pains in the butt to
Yeah,
deal with.
same with
But
shots.
but when you and of course it's not going to get to that point, but when it gets to the point where take the shot or die,
Right.
I mean, you can take the shot. You might get some health problems. You might have to deal with some stuff later, but you got the kids right there. You leave them behind because you don't want to be told to take a shot.
They be sitting pretty. I got good life insurance.
wow.
Kidding, just kidding.
Wow.
I have somebody paid to take care of it.
That's just my question. At what point is it principle?
That's a good question,
and
though.
when does it turn into just plain stubbornness?
Right, that's a good point. I'll be honest with you. If in my current situation, meaning people don't know about, if my current situation, I was told to take the shot or die, and obviously you can hear my kids are here, so
Yeah.
obviously I would take the shot. You know what I'm saying? I
Didn't
would
notice
take
they
the
were
shot.
here.
You know, that's being real. I would take the shot.
Right.
But if the table was flipped and they wasn't here, I wouldn't take the shot.
Fair enough.
I mean, when you're the only person that it affects, that's one
just me.
thing.
Got it.
But yeah.
Fair enough. And on that note, I think it's time we take a break.
It is very time to take a break.
Yeah. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Brake shoes, brake pads, drums, rollers, brake fluid, brake clean, brake hardware, a flush, and a shop fee. I wish there was a place I could take my car to that didn't cost me an arm and a leg.
Well, now there is. Welcome to GA Automotive and Tire, where you can get a brake job for only $199 on most vehicles. That's a complete brake job with brake pads and rotors resurfaced. Located at 4431 Luxinger Lane, Austin, Texas, 78745. For service and prices so good that you'd recommend your family, simply call GA Automotive and Tire. Just dial 512-444-7005. That's 512-444-7005. GA Automotive and Tire. You know, starting a business can be very challenging. Man, starting anything can be challenging, even a podcast. When we started our podcast, we had a lot of hurdles we had to go through. But I tell you what, Will and I are so thankful to have an awesome team of people helping us along the way. And one of those people, well, actually one of part of the team, is Blue Orchid Design Company. They helped us out with an awesome logo, and you guys have seen it every week when you listen to our podcast. They do web design, graphic design, esports logos, business logo creation, product mock-ups, and business consultation. You got to contact them today. For more information, go to goorchid.com. You can also find them on Facebook at facebook.com/Blue Orchid Design Company. This is the team that Big Will and Rob G trust. Give them a call today. Are you looking for your own custom shirt design? Maybe you have an idea for an awesome cap that no one else has, and maybe you think you just don't have enough money to get it to happen? Well, look no further. Call CJ Design. That's right, we're talking custom shirts, caps, stickers, and decals. High quality at the low price guarantee. Maybe you have a youth group, church function, family reunions, work events. Doesn't matter. Call CJ Design for your own specific high quality design merchandise. Call or text at 737-202-8331. That's 737-202-8331. CJ Design, and make sure you ask for Juan. And we are back. And before we continue with the next segment, I've got to give a shout out to one of our sponsors that's sponsoring this segment. Hun, what's one of the best places we've gone out to eat?
That would have to be Silver Spoon.
That is correct. Silver Spoon is an awesome place to take a date. Husbands, hey, February is right around the corner.
Yep, book your seat now.
We got Valentine's Day coming up. I'm telling you, this is a place to go and take your lovely wife and just pamper her over at Silver Spoon. They got awesome food. What's your favorite dish over there?
Oh man, whenever I want to splurge, I'll get that. Was it filet mignon on the salt block?
Yeah.
That's
So good,
my
isn't it?
favorite,
Yeah.
yes.
And they've got great appetizers as well. Which one's your favorite? There's a few of them, I know.
What is it? The Monaco.
Monaco meatballs.
Yes.
Those are delicious. Yes. So great. Oh, yeah. And of course, your favorite dessert is, one of your favorite desserts, the boozy ice cream.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have boozy ice
They have
cream.
boozy ice cream.
They always have a different cheesecake too.
Yes.
Depends on the special. I love their cheesecakes.
Man, you're making me so
Their
hungry.
the frozen hot chocolate.
Oh, the frozen hot chocolate is the
Frozen hot
bomb.
chocolate sounds
Yeah.
delicious.
It
That
was
is
so
our
good.
favorite date night place to go.
Yeah, definitely.
You
So
can
listen.
tell you're talking a lot
Yeah.
about the food.
Yeah, I'm serious. You go there, you'll understand.
Yeah, definitely. So if you haven't gone yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, but definitely make it a point to get out there. They're located at 6700 North Interstate 35, New Braunfels, Texas, 78130. If you want more information, just go to their website. It's silverspoon.com. That's SYLVER spoon.com. You can also give them a call at 210-865-3711. When you go, let them know that your boys here at What's on My Mind podcast, your boys and your girl
Right.
here at What's on My Mind podcast sent you. They will hook you up. Don't forget our friend Cody works there, so he may be the guy to serve you. And say hello to Silver and Madison. They are the owners. You guys will not be sorry, okay? That's Silver Spoon Dinner Theater. All right, so we're talking about hope for 2021. And we've been talking a lot during the first segment about COVID and how you can't escape the fact that COVID is a reality in our world right now. It's not like once the ball dropped, COVID went away.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be very honest. I
Okay.
was one of the guys who said as soon as the election was over, COVID would be over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of the guys who believed in that.
Yeah.
Well, technically, the election's not over yet.
I
Just
wasn't
simply
gonna say
saying.
it.
I'm
I
just
wasn't
saying.
gonna say I wasn't
They
gonna
have
say
the
it.
look.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it. So yes, you're right. The election is not over yet.
Not over yet.
This week, actually, as we're recording this podcast, I know there's a lot going on today, and within the next few days when it comes to the election. So I don't ask me specifics because, like I told you, I haven't been watching the news.
Yeah, have I.
So I don't know. I can tell you what's been going on in WWE if you want to talk about that, but no, I haven't really been watching the news or anything. Yeah.
I'm about to surprise both of y'all right now.
Why? What are you gonna say?
So, on Monday,
Yeah.
I was cleaning. The kids were upstairs playing.
Right.
And as I was cleaning, so I have Xfinity in Houston.
Okay.
So I was flipping. I have the smallest package they have on TV channels. And I was flipping through channels, and for whatever reason, I guess I must have dropped the remote,
Yeah.
and it flipped, and it went to USA.
Oh, so you saw Raw?
Guess what I was watching?
You were watching Monday Night Raw
I watched a little bit of Raw
last night?
and I was just like, "Oh crap! Hold on, what am I doing?" I mean, it was literally on for. It had to be on for at least 20 minutes or so.
Right.
Yeah, I was Swift ring, and these kids are crazy, man. Be honest with people, man. If you don't have kids, think about it. I have 3, and my apartment was spotless until they moved in.
Yeah.
Not even a week ago, and now it's all dirty every day, all day.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have kids, so our house
Lucky
is
you.
spotless.
Yeah, right. We have dogs.
Yeah, we do have.
Our
we-
house is
the
not
one thing that
spotless.
we
It's full of
have
fur.
is fur everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I saw my dog
Everywhere.
with it all over her.
Yeah. When you go home, you're gonna find. I'm sorry. I know you have a rental car, but your rental car is gonna be full of dog
I
hair.
can care less about that now.
You're taking a little bit of Daisy with you today.
That's cool. It's all good. It's all good.
So
Give me
anyway,
something to remember her by.
yeah. So
And a token of her appreciation.
yeah, exactly. So I think you made a very good point at the first segment, Melissa, when you said, when I asked you the question about, is there hope for 2021? You said there has to be. I think you're right. We don't have a choice, but we got to go forward. We gotta move forward. We've been standing still for a lot of 2020 because they told us to. I think we have to just go on and live our lives, and do the things that we used to do as much as we can. Because as we were saying before, like we haven't been able to go play live music or anything. Because
I like how you said we.
yeah, because nothing's open. Not I mean, the smaller places are this and that. There, don't get me wrong. There's been some bands out there that have still been busy. Seventh Day Slumber is one of them, which hats off to them that they're still going out there and rocking out and everything, and they're still holding concerts. I think that's awesome. Relent has also been doing that too.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Valent, you gotta go see him.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, there we go.
So it's this year we are all looking forward to getting back out there. As a matter of fact, speaking of music, this Thursday I'm going to be going into the recording studio to record my
Stop the Sun.
for Stop the Sun. I'm recording my drum tracks this week, which means that in a couple of weeks we'll probably be releasing our first single.
Ooh.
So it's called This Side of Heaven.
Interesting. Is that a play off of the Los Lonely Boys Salvador Heaven?
No,
Okay.
that's just what Jaron named it. This Side of Heaven.
So how will you be releasing your single?
We're going to be releasing it.
How can you release a single when you're married to Melissa?
What?
I love both your looks when you say that. You say, "Well, I'm releasing a single."
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
That was a bad joke.
Yeah. So anyway, to answer your question, Melissa, We're going to be releasing it like Spotify and probably Apple, iTunes and stuff like that. Jaren is interested in doing a CD eventually.
What's that?
Nice.
CD?
Yeah, CD. And honestly, I think it's mainly because he just wants to have something physical.
Do vinyl.
That's not a
Yeah,
bad
I would
idea.
buy that.
I would get vinyl. I
That's
don't even
not a
have a
bad
record
idea.
player. I'd buy vinyl.
Everybody,
Dude, I want a record player so bad.
vinyl is coming back. I thought we were getting one.
Wait, I just haven't bought. Dude, do you know how much stuff I still need to buy for that?
Yes,
house?
I know.
Oh, forget the fixtures. I want a record player. I'm already. They released Alice in Chains' facelift on vinyl, and
Really?
I so want it. Totally buying it. But
Awesome.
yeah, so that's gonna be my first vinyl.
Well, I'll have
Well,
to.
after Stop the Sun, if that comes out first.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Nice.
I like the dedicated loyalty to her husband and his band.
No, believe it or not, she actually really does like the music and Stop the Sun.
Hey, I haven't.
does.
I've only heard some of the recorded phone versions of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, it's definitely
I
getting
like
me.
the vibe.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
there's a
getting
good
me.
vibe to it.
It's getting me out of my comfort zone because I'm such a hard rock player. I'm not used to playing more alternative.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of learning the alternative side of things, but I'm also giving it a hard rock feel. So
So here's my question, and I've seen your post today. So or maybe yesterday, whatever.
Okay.
So have you heard the Transistor album?
yes, I have actually.
I have it on. I downloaded it on the Apple.
Yeah.
Apple iTunes.
Yeah.
Or Apple Music.
A lot of it I had already heard because
you
I've heard
played with
I've
them.
heard Stonewall Static perform.
Yeah.
But it's a trip hearing them, like that, like not performing, like you're hearing it on iTunes or whatever.
That's
And
for iTunes.
yeah. So kudos to them. Shout out to Stonewall Static. They released they finally released their album
Yep.
on Christmas. It was on December 25th.
Yep.
And I believe they've already gone aluminum. No, I'm just kidding. They're gonna love that one.
I hope they're listening.
No, but it's real good. Their video, I saw their video again. Actually, we have some excited people in the audience today.
Yes, we do. We are excited for the comment. She's laughing for the
They're ready
aluminum
for it.
comment.
So anyway, I saw the video again here recently, Stonewall Static's video.
That's a cool video.
Yeah, I got to see that again. So I'm really excited for what this year's gonna bring for a lot of our friends. Sound for the Crown. I'm not gonna. I've got some news on Sound for the Crown, but I'm not gonna release it because it's not up to me. All I will say is that some changes had to be made because of what we're going through with the whole COVID thing right now. But the good news,
Holograms.
no.
That'd be dope.
But the good. Oh, I didn't even touch it. I didn't
News
even
was so
touch it.
earth shattering that
I didn't even touch
The
it.
news is so important. The mic just shut off and you
Yeah,
can't say
I
it.
didn't even touch it. That's crazy. Anyway,
your mic couldn't even.
the good news is that Sound for the Crown is not canceled.
Yes.
It's still
See,
on.
Even the audience agrees with you.
Yeah, it's still going. Like I said, there are going to be some changes, but I will wait for the announcement to happen.
It's because Daisy's walking up to Celia
I see.
and she's freaking out.
Daisy has that effect on people, I guess. So anyway, this is so out of the ordinary. It's crazy.
Welcome to the new podcast.
I know, right? Wow.
Welcome to 2021.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So no, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. I am definitely going to stretch my wings a little bit when it comes to music too. I'm not going to. This is another one I'm not going to give away on the air yet, but I have also offered to help out another friend of mine.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me about this.
No,
Oh
I
my
haven't even
God.
told you about that. I'm not ready to divulge anything yet. No, I'm actually gonna be playing something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be very honest with you.
What's that?
So, I've had the itch.
Oh, really?
I've had the itch.
Oh, wow.
As weird as that sounds, I've had the itch.
Really? So
Yeah.
you what? Okay, but for which one though? To perform or to produce?
Well, I've always put. I mean, I produce commercials for this podcast all the time, which is
But producing commercials and producing artists, a
well,
little bit different.
yeah, but it's the same. It's the same cake in itself because it just,
Why do you have to say cake, dude? I'm trying to stay
I'm
away from
freaking
the.
hungry right now, dude.
Obviously.
So
You want a banana? I got a banana.
I'll get that in a little bit. So it's crazy because producing commercials is kind of like producing that, except you don't have the hook and the intros and the outros. You're
Right.
not, you're doing a drop track. But the thing is that I've had the urge to play.
I got you.
I've literally wanted to go sit in the bandstand and play. So like, there's a church I'm attending right now.
Oh, okay.
And I asked them, out there if
I saw that picture of you on the drums that your sister put up. Didn't look like it was recent, but
wow,
I'm just kidding.
wow,
Just kidding.
yeah. I'm a cure. Anyway, so forgot my. I attended. There's a church I'm attending. So
It's my dog. It's my dog.
Curious. I have this big old computer right here. I
Yeah.
can't see the half of the room. Yeah, so I was, I literally asked Pastor, "You have a drummer? You need a bass player,
Right.
guitar player, anything?"
Yeah.
I'm just that itch has come back.
Well, that's good though. I mean, when was the last time you actually played?
I haven't played on a stand or a stage
Since your dad, right?
since my dad passed.
Yeah, and that's
in 2006.
been a long
years
time.
ago.
Yeah. Well, it's about time. It's about time. No, so this other thing I'm talking about, it's to help a good friend of mine that we know. I don't even think it's like a permanent thing.
I get you.
It's just to kind of help out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not closing myself off to it.
Yeah, smart move.
Yeah, exactly. So, like technically right now, yes, I'm in 2 bands. Technically, I'm in 3 bands.
Dang.
But the third band ain't doing anything at all. That's the country band I'm in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
they're not doing
They
nothing.
don't count. They
No,
don't count. That's
so
a seasonal thing.
yeah, and the whole Fiesta season didn't
It's
happen
over.
last year
Yeah.
because of
COVID.
COVID. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, why are we talking about COVID so much?
I know.
it's what's happening.
No hope.
Yeah. So anyway, so technically 3 bands, but like you said, one of them doesn't count because we're not doing anything. But the other 2, we're pretty active. We did a lot of shows. The last show, of course, we did was in March of last year. So we're anticipating doing some more this year. But out of those 2 bands, right now, if I'm being honest, I don't get me wrong, I love Judge Not. I love it with all my heart and everything. But creativity wise, it's been happening more in Stop the Sun.
Yeah,
Because
it's some idea relevant.
because it's new, right? It's very new. I'm not saying that new stuff couldn't happen in Judge Not.
may
but-
take a little while to get there.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. But with this other project that I'm gonna start helping out in, if it opens up to something, it opens up to something, and if it
Yeah.
does, more than likely I'll probably go with it. I'll
Yeah.
go with that flow. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll be honest with you. I was talking with a friend of mine from Del Rio. I've got a lot of musical, whatever you want to call it,
Inspiration.
that wants to come out. I want to try so many different things. Believe it or not, I was talking to this friend of mine. I was like, bro, I've actually seriously been thinking about. I want to try doing some rockabilly,
Ooh,
like
that'd be kind of cool.
like playing bass in a rockabilly
know
I
what-
feel like
band.
that'd be fun.
you
yeah.
know what I want to do? As crazy as it sounds coming from me,
What?
bluegrass.
Really?
Yeah,
That's definitely out of the comfort zone.
yeah.
I-
I've always wanted to try bluegrass.
Like banjo.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
man.
that'd be pretty dope, man. Those guys gotta play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
guys got to play.
Now, the one thing I am excited about, we talked about it when Stop the Sun was here, that I'm really looking forward to is the fact that in Stop the Sun, they're open, or I should say, we're open to doing covers.
Right.
Which means that opens up our ability to play anywhere.
Right.
And that's the other thing too. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I'm a believer. Stop the Sun. We're Christians. We're going to sing about God, but we're not going to just pigeonhole ourselves into that one box. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to do other stuff so we can go to other places, and it's funny that I brought that up because, speaking of this whole going into the new year thing and hope and stuff, that's one thing that I've decided to do for myself is take out the toxicity in my life, right?
Yeah.
And just do what I feel God is leading me to do just in my life, and to really kind of stop trying to be that people pleaser that I've always been trying to be. You know what I mean?
I understand that. That's me right there.
Yeah, because like I hear it all the time. Ever since I stopped going to church back in April, maybe not right away, but soon after that, people that I'm not trying to dog anybody. I know these people mean well. They care for me. But I always get the same question. So have you found a church? So have you found a church? So have you found a church yet? Have you found... No. Did you ever think maybe I don't want to find a church? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of that I've been dealing with over the past few weeks. There's a lot of things that have happened in my life just in the past few weeks. And I want to... I just don't want to be stuck where I've been stuck in the past. You know what I mean?
I get you.
So here recently, I made a really cool friend, right? And it was something different because what happened this time is I met this person, and it was a friendship. It was a friendship that started without an agenda, and this is what I mean by that. A lot of times when I meet people, especially if I meet someone that's not technically a Christian or that's not, like how we like to say, is not saved, right? For whatever reason.
Yep.
There's always that thought of like, oh, I need to talk to them about God, or I need to talk to them about the Lord. I want to see if I can win them for the Lord. Now, having said that, I'm not trying to say that that is a wrong way to think. Okay, I'm not saying that. But I went into this friendship with no agenda. Okay? Me and this person just clicked.
Yeah.
Right? We just clicked. We became fast friends. I mean, we joke, we have a good time when we're hanging out together. So much so that having just met this person, I think we were only friends for 2 weeks maybe before.
Something like that.
It was only like 2 weeks that we've been friends. I invited him over for dinner.
Wow.
To the house.
Wow.
Came over, he hung out with me and with Melissa, and we had a ball, right? And in our conversation that night, he talked a lot about his upbringing, and he grew up in the church, right? So we had a lot in common in that area. But I'll be the first to tell you that the conversations that we had weren't what you would call holy. Maybe in a Christian's eyes, jokes were made, bad words were said. It was a regular conversation.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of I'm just kind of letting you get a glimpse of what I've been going through mentally, the past few weeks. The thing that got me about this is that this guy, along with very few others in my life, you would be one of them. If I were to just have a conversation, I might drop an F-bomb, I might drop a bad word, I might say something that's not technically appropriate or whatever. I know without a shadow of a doubt that when you go home, Will, you're not going to be driving thinking, "Oh, I thought Rob was a Christian."
I think that every day I leave here. I was waiting to say that.
Anyway, but I know that's not what you're going to think,
right?
And vice versa, right?
Right.
And so those people like yourself, I can actually be me.
Real.
Yeah, exactly. Real. Be me. And so I go into this friendship. There's no agenda. I'm just having a good time, having fun, and just being real. And the crazy thing about it was, I told this to Melissa later, that night, that conversation that we had, I felt God more in that conversation than I have in any conversation I've had at church over the past year. Being real.
Yeah.
Being real. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, and just saying that, and the reason I bring that up is because this would probably be something that would be judged by other people, other Christians that I know or something.
But let me ask you this question. If they judge you,
right,
are they really Christian?
The ones that's something I've wrestled with myself.
Because, so I've been attending this place in Houston, right, this church. And that's actually kind of what the pastors preach about on Sunday.
Yeah.
And he said, he was talking kind of about that and some other stuff. And he said something about, if I'm judging, am I really a Christian?
Right.
Then he said, if I come with correction and love, and you receive it in love, is it still correct? Is it still correction?
Right.
But then he saw us talking about how is this dedicated to what it is, and I bring this in because only for one reason. What you're saying, what you're going through.
Right.
And it's a real question. If you think if somebody comes at you and they say something to you, is it really, are they judging you? Are they a Christian? Because we're not supposed to judge, because the Bible clearly says, "Judge not, let ye be judged."
Okay, but since we're gonna bring that up, let's be real here. Let's be technical. Yes, Matthew 7:7 says, do not judge not, right? Bad name, right? Judge not, lest you be judged,
Correct.
right? But here's the thing: that's talking about non-believers.
Well, it depends. Think
No,
about it.
well, here's the thing: because if you're my brother in Christ, right, and I see you, I don't know, you're doing dope, you're doing heroin, or whatever the case may be. I know it's an extreme thing,
Yeah.
but let's say you're doing heroin, you're doing dope, but yet you're still going behind the pulpit and you're preaching, and I know that you're living that. Then I need to say something to you. Yes, in that instance, I'm judging you and telling you, yo, you cannot be living like that.
Well, you're not judging, because if I'm behind the pulpit and I'm preaching the word of God and I'm doing things that shouldn't be, that are unethical biblically, then it's not judgment, it's correction.
That's where the problem comes in, though, because especially those who have been in the faith for so long, that line starts to blur.
Right.
They start judging you, but they come at you like, "Oh, I'm just telling you out of love." How many times have you heard that?
Oh, I've
Well,
been-
it's
I've been
out of
told
love,
that
brother. It's out
hundreds
of
of
love,
times.
brother.
Yeah.
So they're always going to see it as they're coming at you out of love. And judgment's going to happen, Christian or not. This is Christian in the definition that these are people who follow. I don't even want to say follow, who believe that Christ died for their sins and accept him as their savior.
Right.
Everybody who falls under that umbrella is gonna fail, they're gonna sin, they're gonna mess up, so this is just coming at people who identify as Christian, people who are classified as Christians, have that, what's it called? I've just seen it so many times where they, if you do something that, especially if you've been in a leadership position, if you've been in a, position of ministry, like, oh, well, every little thing you do, everything you say.
It's under a microscope.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but you also realize too is if you're in the leadership role, then you're in a leadership position when you put yourself under that microscope. So think of it as this: as your manager at your job.
Yeah.
So they're the manager, so they're supposed to conduct themselves a certain way.
Right.
Deviate is the word. With responsibilities out to the team.
Right.
But they're responsible for everything in itself.
Right.
So if you're a leader in a church, that means you're responsible for certain aspects of what that leadership role contends to.
Which I get that.
But what I tend to not disagree with you, but just disagree with Christians in general.
Yeah.
Is like Melissa said, I'm coming at you with love. I'm coming at you with love. And it's, well, hold on. If it's love, then love's gonna bring correction by itself, and the Bible says that. And if it's love, then you're gonna come to me and say, hey, okay, for example, I'm never gonna talk to you and throw out your business on the air. So let's just say, like you just said a minute ago, the example you gave, dropping F-bombs and things of that nature.
Right.
I would never, ever condemn you or say anything to you about that, because I've never done it to you, right?
Right.
Now, coming at you with love is, let's just say it bothers me,
Right.
So I'm gonna go home and pray to God. Say, God, you need to fix him. That's correcting it in love, because now I'm going to the one who can create you and who can fix the issue. If I'm coming to you and say, hey, Rob, you can't drop that F-bomb. You ain't a Christian. Now that takes that boundary line that Melissa was just speaking of, and that just now puts the line there.
Which is, and that's exactly my point, because that right there is what a lot of Christians will do.
They're quick to jump to that.
Exactly.
Quick to jump to
Exactly.
that.
And
that's kind of the point we're making to begin with.
Yeah.
Not just about leadership per se. That was just an example that I was bringing up, but just having every little thing you do, whether or not we choose to go to church, whether or not we choose to play, because that's another thing that we hear
Right,
a lot. Oh,
right,
wait, you're
right.
not playing? You're not playing?
Right.
Oh, you're playing secular music? Why aren't you playing for, so that's the kind of judgment that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Which,
and I'm just over it. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I get
so
you.
I'm so done with it. The other part that just really sticks to my craw, I guess, gets to me is people that go and have the audacity to tell me that you have a calling on your life. God has called you to be a worshiper. You're supposed to be a worshiper. I'm like, bro, who are you to tell me what I'm supposed to do?
It's funny, and this is very interesting.
I don't know how we got on this topic.
I know. I think we kind of got way off kilter
It's all
here.
good though, because it's all podcast. But here's the funny thing: is an artist I used to work with. You know her, and she was told now about 2 years ago that
Right.
she's gonna get pregnant. She's gonna have a boy, and you're gonna name this boy this name.
Right.
So then she got pregnant,
Right.
had a girl. And
How dare
named
she?
It, and she named it something totally different
Right,
than what it was
right,
supposed to. So it makes you wonder, was that guy prophesying, speaking
Sound
in
like
flesh?
he was prophesying.
Right? So I mean, so you realize that's why, and once again, that's why the spirit of discernment comes in.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, man. And this may sound horrible coming from me.
Yeah.
Horrible. And people are gonna freak out when they say this. When people prophesy over me and tell me you're gonna do this, you got that, you got this, you got that, I sit there and say, okay, thank you, Jesus, whatever. But then I turn around and say, God, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me what to do. You're not gonna use this fool to tell me what you just told me.
Exactly.
And that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know I completely get that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole right
Ooh,
there.
Yeah.
we should do that next time.
We'll have to do another podcast on that. But again, I know you haven't been on a lot of the podcasts, but sometimes we go different ways and we just kind of roll with it. But we're gonna take one more break. When we come back, we're gonna go back to the hope that to talk a little bit more about hope, because we need some hope. So
with a slice of pie on the side.
yeah, right. So we got a couple more commercials for you guys to check out, and please listen while you're listening to these commercials. I can't stress it enough. New year, right? We want to do some new things. Please go and support our sponsors.
Yes, please do.
The reason why we work with them is because they're great. They are awesome. So if any of our sponsors, if they meet any of your needs at all, be it Silver Spoon so you can get a meal, be it Hanley's Good Time and Barbershop for you men that need to get a nice fresh cut. I mean, whatever it is,
bro.
Yeah, I know. Go and support these wonderful businesses because they need your support. All right. So, but anyway, having said that, please check out our sponsors, and we'll be right back after these messages. Whoa. Oh, no way. Hey, Will,
Yo, what's
get
up?
over here. Look at this.
What am I looking at?
I'm in Facebook right now. Look at these numbers.
Dude, what did you do?
Dude, look at these numbers now on Instagram.
What? How?
Yeah, they've gone up in just a couple of weeks
How?
by listening to Enid Jones. That's right. So if you are wanting to start a business in 2020 and you wanted to grow on social media, then you know where you need to start? You need to contact Enid Jones, the Social Mermaid. She's a photographer and social media strategist. She will help give you a strategy to move forward in 2020 with a practical, realistic approach or growth. For testimonials, reviews, and more, you need to go find her on Facebook or Instagram. We listened to her, and in just a couple of weeks, man, our numbers are up. So if you go to Instagram, you can find her by pix.by.enid. That's pix.by.enid. And if you go on Facebook, just search Enid Jones Photography. She's not that hard to find. Go and search her today. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob T, from What's on My Mind. Listen, we're about to start the podcast. Before we do, I just wanted to say a few words about our awesome sponsor, Metroflex Gym San Marcos. We've been pumping them like crazy on the show, and there's a reason for that. You see, it was a few years ago. It's probably about 5 or 6 years ago I first stepped into Metroflex. I got to meet the owners, Daniel and Michelle Haggerty, and let me tell you something. Just them alone makes the very reason why I go to this gym. Back at that time, I was at my heaviest at 465 pounds. Yeah, pretty heavy, I know. Anyway, I walked into the gym. I talked to Daniel and told Daniel exactly what was going on with me at the time. I had some health issues and things like that. And he wasn't interested about, the money. He was interested more in me and my health. And I will never, ever forget that. So, it's for that reason alone that I still continue to go to Metroflex. This is about 6 years ago. Now, since then, I've had, fluctuations, of course, as we all do. But the one thing that I love is that these guys don't give up on me. They don't call me a quitter. They don't press me or anything, but they definitely motivate me. If you are looking for a gym that is going to look at you and care for you like family, I'm telling you, you've got to go to Metroflex Gym San Marcos. If you're in the San Marcos area, it could be Kyle, Buda, could be New Braunfels. You're not that far away. Metroflex Gym is really not that far away. Look, the address, it's really simple. It's 2101 Clovis Barker Road, San Marcos, Texas, 78666. That's Highway 123, like you're going to Seguin. It's not that far. Okay, look, if you want more information, look them up online, www.metroflexsanmarcos.com, or give them a call, 512-878-8575. Metroflex Gym. They care for you like family, but also it is the hardcore place to get back in shape. Don't forget, Metroflex Gym. Hey, are you a super fan of the What's on My Mind podcast? Are you ready to show it off? Well, now you can, because we've got official merchandise. You need a t-shirt so that your friends can know who you listen to? All you got to do is contact us, WOMMpodcast@gmail.com. We got shirts, we got cups, we got stickers, all for you. Contact us today. Just kidding.
Wow.
We're back. As a little inside joke, Will's children are just having a blast right now.
Yes, they sure are.
So anyway, we are back. We are going into our third and final segment. But before we do, I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor for this segment, and that's Collector University. You had Professor Jay here last week, and he told his spiel. Dude, I didn't all that stuff he said last week. I was like, wow.
That was off the cuff. That was pretty dope.
And that was a lot of stuff that he does that I didn't even know about, like the whole opening the Pokemon card thing and everything.
I'm gonna lie, bro. I'm an old school collector of baseball cards. I was like, I should show this dude what I got. Maybe I get some money out this stuff.
Yeah, man. He knows his stuff. So you got to go to Collector University when you want to get your pop culture toys. Went out again.
Yep.
There we go. Pop culture toys. Sorry about that, y'all. Pop culture toys. You got cards. I think he said he does sports cards too, right? Yeah.
Baseball, football.
Action figures, comics. Man, there's just so much that you can get from him. All you got to do is go to Facebook or Instagram and look up Collector University, and you will be able to find them. And don't forget, when you order something from Collector University,
he sends you a free gift with the package to help you out, which is pretty dope because people don't usually give stuff away for free these days.
No. So that's something that is pretty awesome for him to do.
And I will say, if you search him on eBay, Collector University as well, you can actually get whatever you need, whatever you want on there. Or just, hey, you know what? If you don't see it, reach out to him, on social media. Hey,
he can probably find it.
This dude, he seems like the kind of guy who just knows a lot and where to get stuff.
Definitely. So Collector University, all right? So make sure you search them and look them up, all right? So we've been kind of all over the place, I know, but it's been a good conversation. I will say that. It's been a very good conversation. But 2021, I think, in my opinion, the energy in this country right now is everybody is looking for hope, and I think a lot of people are definitely
trying to find hope. And it's funny because when you look around and try to find hope, people and this is kind of funny because people always refer hope to going back to church, and we were just talking about in the last segment, you don't have to just literally go to church and find hope in church.
Right.
You can find hope seeking God.
Right.
In your own way, like the Brotherhood Bible study that the men group have.
Right, for sure.
I'm not going to lie, I miss that Bible study, dude. That's the one thing I do miss.
For sure. Now, the one thing I will say, you can have your disagreements about church, going to church. Do you have to go to church? You'll have people that will argue with you about
both ways.
The Bible says you have to go to church. And I'm not here to get into that. What I am going to say, though, is if you are trying to find hope, the only place you're going to find it is in Jesus Christ. That right there is not my opinion. I'm stating that as a fact.
That's fact.
And I say that from self-testimony, basically.
Yeah.
That is where I find my hope. And I'm so thankful to Melissa, who's here with us, of course, because anytime I get out of that or I start kind of getting lost in my thoughts when they get negative, she's always there to pull me back and be like, where's your hope?
Yeah.
Is your hope in your thoughts? Is your hope in your politics? Or is your hope in Christ? And she's the one that will remind me of that.
She hit you in the back of the head when she says that to you too?
Pretty much.
With my words.
Oh, okay. Dang, you should be like,
she's not a violent person, Will.
dang it, man. We need to train you better.
So that is one thing that I will say without a qualm is that if you really are looking for hope, it's because she's rubbing off on me, see?
I see that. Vocabulary is growing.
If you're looking for hope, you need to find your hope in Christ. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, in 2021, there's a lot of potential for sure. I don't know where we're going as far as political wise. I actually was telling you this before the show started. about Pastor Fuji
Yeah.
reaching out to me, I'm gonna tell you guys what I told him, and that's that my hope is in Christ, and I'm trusting him. I'm not trusting in the president. I'm not trusting in the president-elect. I'm not trusting in any of that stuff. I'm
Yeah.
gonna trust in God.
That's true. That's what we have to do. The Bible
Yeah,
says that.
exactly. Now, it's a challenge, yeah. Even when we were talking about it before the break, we're talking about the whole judgment thing. Even that's still a challenge for me because I still find myself doing, the whole
Same thing.
Idiot. Oh no. Pray for him. Because you don't want to prejudge people, of course. But
But
yeah,
it's hard not to.
it is.
I mean, people just make comments that are like out of left field. You're just like, where did that come from? God, what an idiot.
True. But see, I have this one over here to pull me back too when that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, it's a good thing she's always on your hip.
Yeah, but to be fair, there are some things that we have both seen that we're both like, that was just dumb.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm not even talking about political wise. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying in general,
In
like
general,
that
yeah.
was dumb. So
I know. Trust me. I know.
So, but Melissa is a very good example of how not to be judgmental.
Oh, of course.
So
yeah.
I wish I was
Wow,
more.
she said, whoa.
to an extent.
I wish I was.
Nobody's perfect.
I wish I was more like her in that as well. When it comes to like political stuff and everything, I wish I was more like you, but I'm not. But I'm not.
Yeah. It's all good though. Not everybody's perfect.
Yeah, true. I just have very strong opinions. That's all. Very strong opinions.
It happens
So,
to the best of us though.
Yeah, true.
Only the best of us.
Yeah, true. So, what about you? I know you're hopeful for 2021. How do you see things going? Just
Man, that's such a hard question to answer right now. I'm hoping that 2021 at least calms down politically.
kind of like these kids need to calm down.
That's just Celia playing, man.
Like my hope is, once the president is settled in, I just hope things from there start to calm down a little bit. The political climate kind of calms down. People, get along with their lives. And as far as everything else, I just hope that we continue to move forward, that, the numbers at least start going down as far as the virus goes. That
Right.
The economy starts to recover. People start going back to work.
For sure.
And that we get some of that security back. I mean, it's not going to happen tomorrow. At the end of this year, I seriously doubt we're going to be back to what we would consider normal.
True.
I don't even know what that is going to look like moving forward.
True.
But
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Do you think the old normal is what we should go back to?
I honestly don't know. I mean, looking at the way things are now, because even if we, get these vaccines out and everything goes great with COVID, I don't even know if that's to say it's going to get eradicated.
Right.
So does that mean we're going to tolerate it better? Does that mean there are some things that we're never going to do again? I mean, because I remember I've said little things here and there, let's say, we go out, we don't have to wear masks anymore, whatever.
I can't wait for that day.
Can you see yourself using a water fountain?
That's a good point.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. I haven't used a water fountain in 21 years.
But
But fair enough. But for people like,
I get what
I've
you're
used
saying.
water fountains before, and now just the thought of it is like, ew. Like we've gotten to the point where, yes, I mean, we may or may not want to use a mask. You may or may not want to social distance, but we've gotten to the point where we've had to pay so much attention to germs and how they're transferred and how they get around. I mean, can you imagine?
she can.
She agrees with you wholeheartedly. apparently.
Yeah. So yeah, just kind of having to, with that in mind, and being ingrained in us for so long, having to avoid certain situations, having to go back into these situations, when we start social distancing less, I guess. You're gonna have that thought, like, oh, they're a little close.
Yeah,
like,
I get
are
that.
you good? Are you
That's
good?
true.
I'll be honest with
That's
you.
true.
Is when I go to the grocery store, I do the whole 6 feet separation thing, whatever.
Right.
But we know what kind of bothers me, and this is what COVID did to me mentally.
Okay.
I'm in the line, and the person behind me is like right up on me. I'm like, dude, back up and give me space, fool.
Yeah. You're my bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that we've become aware of now, and I don't see anything like that going away soon, even if it starts to relax a little bit. Like I said, doing stuff like that, yeah, I can't see going back to the old normal. There's probably going to be a lot of things that are permanently changed.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
To be honest with you, I think we'll get to the point where the masks, right, are not going to be like mandatory, but I don't think we're ever not going to see people not wearing them.
That's true.
I think that's
I think we're gonna always
something.
have those people wearing.
That's something that's going to stay.
I mean, there are some people that did that even before
Right.
COVID.
Right. Well, Michael Jackson don't count.
No, but I mean, I've seen people who, especially around flu season,
Yeah,
who
for sure.
were sick or immunocompromised, they
Right.
would walk around wearing
Right.
their mask. So now,
I'm just saying. I think now you're going to see more of it.
yeah.
And even if it gets to the point where they're like, "Oh, you don't have to wear it" or whatever, I still think people will. And I think you're right about that whole thing. Like, I can't see myself, and I'm with Will too. I haven't drank out of a water fountain in a long time, but I couldn't even fathom that thought.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have a bottle of water with me. You know what I mean? So I definitely get that. I also get the whole being in your bubble kind of thing. You know, I mean, I have no problem with hugging people and shaking
yeah.
hands
I'm
and
a
things like
hugger.
that. But if I'm at the grocery store, you need to back up off me, fool.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's
you
people
hug
who
and
don't
you-
stink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you hug and shake hands with people or that
Exactly.
you're around or comfortable with in some way or another.
Exactly.
I ain't
Exactly.
gonna lie to you, man. I'm becoming the king of fist bumping people now. And
Yeah.
If I meet you for the first time, like when I was at church on Sunday,
Yeah.
everybody there is the first time to me. You know what I'm saying? I've only been in a couple weeks now.
Right.
I'm just, I had a guy try to give me a hug. Like, dude,
Back up. Back up. I don't know you like that.
we ain't that cool, man. We ain't that cool yet.
Yeah.
We broke bread once. We ain't that cool.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think I hate that term "new normal," but if I'm being realistic, to a certain extent, there is going to be a new normal. I hate to say it, but I even think that a new normalcy might even be things like when you're watching a football game, it ain't gonna be packed like it used to be. You know.
Oh, that's so weird watching football
It is.
like that.
It is.
Oh my god.
I will say this though. I am thankful for the crowd noise that they pump in.
Yeah.
Because for a brief moment, you're not even focused on the fact that there's no people in the audience because of that. That helps me watch the game. I
Yeah.
will say that. Not that it helped the Cowboys any of this. But anyway,
Hey, I'm happy they lost.
I'm not even going.
I'm gonna say it. I'm
not
happy they lost.
go
We
there.
get a top 10 pick now.
No, I mean that's great.
Now we can
but-
pick an O line or whatever we need. Please don't pick a stupid receiver, Jerry Jones. Please don't draft a running back, Jerry Jones. We have something we need. I'm just saying.
like a new owner. Anyway,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
so I think some of that may stay the way it is now. But I really do hope. I'm really hoping that we get back to be able to go to see, live bands, go to see, I want to go to a WWE show again,
Are they doing live audience now? Or
No.
It's just like
No.
it's just like everything else taped screens in.
Yeah, so what WWE does now is they have something called the Thunderdome. Now, don't get me wrong, visually it's awesome, right? They got the pyro, they got everything else, but the crowd is all LED screens. And
Right. So it's like the NBA finals.
yeah, so you could basically go on the website, register, and you can be in the audience.
Nope, you see it
It's
right there,
it's
right?
cool. It is. Don't get me wrong, but to be able to go to an
not the
event,
same.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Now I'm glad they did that because for the longest time, me, I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid. But there was a good amount of. There was probably like 2 or 3 months, right, that I didn't watch WWE.
It was something like that.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Really?
because I couldn't. There was no people.
It was creepy.
It was weird.
It is weird. I'll be honest with you. I saw one episode back in like right after when they had that the war.
Well, dude, WrestleMania this past 2020, there was no people. I tried to watch it. It was so hard because, there's reactions that happen when certain moves happen and
yeah.
certain things, and there was nothing. And it, like she said, it was creepy. It really was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very
so,
interesting.
So here's what happened during that 2-3 months that I wasn't watching WWE. I was actually watching AEW because they were actually letting the other wrestlers that weren't on the show come to be in the audience.
That's dope.
So there was noise. They were yelling. They were getting into the show. That helped so much that I was able to enjoy watching wrestling, even though it was not WWE.
Right.
Now, since then, of course, WWE has changed things, and they're doing that, and it's a lot better
They
now.
realize the errors of their ways.
Yeah. So it's better to watch, but I want to be able to go to a live show again. I actually want to go see AEW live because they're a new company.
Yeah.
And right when they started up, COVID hit.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So you
No,
can't.
it didn't. Right when they started up, they went in for like 6 months. Because we
yes,
had,
you're right.
We
You're right.
had the wrestling show about
You're right.
that.
Yeah, you're right. They were in like about 6 months, but they hadn't been doing on the road stuff.
Oh, I know.
They didn't start doing the on the road stuff till 2020 actually started. And then right as they were doing the on the road stuff,
Boom.
everything closed. Yeah. So I
So-
want to be able to go to a show. I want to be able to go to see that live, stuff like that.
So, WWF is in one
WWE,
location now?
WWE.
Yeah, my bad, my fault. WWE is in one location now?
Right now, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not touring no more?
No.
Because of the whole COVID thing?
Right. Now on the plus side, I love it how we just got into wrestling, right? On the plus side for the performers, it's been great
Yeah.
because they actually get to go home.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, to a home.
Well, where they live,
Yeah.
because right now where everything is happening, the wrestlers, most of them live there.
Oh, okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So they actually get to go home and be with their families, whereas before they were on the road like 300 days a year. So this has been a big
Boost.
plus.
Morale.
Yeah, it's been a big plus for them. So it's kind of weird how the dynamic has changed because you could say that with everything. I mean, it has forced a lot of us to have to work from home. So we've had to spend time with each other at home.
I'm a big fan at that.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing too. Melissa and I, we love working at home together. It's actually been really nice. I have a little spot now in the bedroom where I have my recliner. That's kind of my office now. So I'm there at the laptop doing what I'm doing for my job. She's sitting in bed doing what she's doing for her job. You know what I mean? And we're getting to spend time with each other in that way. When it's time for lunch, we both come down here to the kitchen and have lunch together. And so it's kind of nice. You know what I mean?
Got a lunch date every day. That's pretty dope.
Pretty much. So it's funny because there was a lot of negativity in 2020, but there was a lot of good that came out of it as far as family time and stuff like that. So that is one thing that I will say for 2021, I hope doesn't change. I really hope that because of what happened in 2020, that companies, employers will see that it is possible to be productive and not have to be in the office all the time.
So I will tell you this much: is my company, right when all this stuff started happening, they were the first company to send 45,000 employees home.
Wow.
45,000 people.
That's a lot of employees.
So then they said, we're going to do a temporary, right? Well, now I'm permanent work from home.
Right.
So I'm never going to go back to the office.
Right.
So here's the cool thing. So they found a system where they said, okay, we're going to take this. We took 45,000 people and put them home. That just allowed them to hire 45,000 more people to work in the office.
Oh, wow.
So then they did that. And they said, okay, now you're at a certain point. Now you go work from home.
Wow.
I mean, that's
Wow.
pretty advanced thinking if you think about it. So now they can staff better.
Right.
And now,
Right. Well, I mean, that's the one thing that has happened, at least just speaking for like where I work, right?
Yeah.
We were able to complete our tasks at home. Melissa was able to complete her tasks at home. So it is possible. So honestly, what I'm hoping for the future, because I don't know if you know this, I think I've told you this before. I know I've talked to Melissa about this, but other countries, they don't have 40-hour work weeks.
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? When they take lunch breaks, I think it was in Italy. I saw this, that their lunch break is like 2 hours.
Mexico has it for 2 hours.
Yeah, and the reason why is because your lunch break is supposed to be a time to go home,
For family.
eat with your family, rest. I think in Mexico they actually expect you to have a siesta.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's been proven that work
boost.
productivity has increased because of that. So I'm really hoping that for our country, because of what happened, that we start to do something similar.
I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. For a while there, I would take a nap on my lunch.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, I'll go back to a revitalized
Yeah.
wish to go, boy.
Yeah. So I'm really seriously, man, I'm really hoping that that's going to be something that changes. Like maybe where the work week is like you go to the office for 3 days, but 2 days you get to work at home or something like that, where there's some kind of a happy medium. You know what I mean? Because Am I right? Working from home has been
Oh, yeah.
really good. Melissa right now has to go to the office 2 days a week, and when she left this morning, as a matter of fact, I was just like, "You have to go." I didn't want her to leave. And the funny thing is we're both very productive when we work from home, but it's just you're there with your loved ones. I'm there with her. We're here together. We're safe. We're cozy. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah. So it's just
in your PJs all day.
I'm
in my PJs all day.
I'll be honest with you. The other today, as a matter of fact, I had a Zoom meeting. Man, I went out to the back porch and did the Zoom meeting.
There's no.
It was nice sitting on the swing with the laptop in my lap and just kind of swinging back and forth. You know what I mean? It was cool. So as
With
far
your
as
light on with the music playing.
well, no, it wasn't nighttime, but yeah. So as far as hope goes for 2021, I think we can all agree that we are all very optimistic here at this table. These are some things I'm hoping that we will get to see this year. Some changes that are made, but I do hope that there is some sense of normalcy that will start to happen this year. I really do hope that our stimulus comes in.
That'd be nice.
Speaking of which, I'm telling you this. You remember the whole tax thing I told you last year? We still hadn't gotten our taxes. Yeah, we finally got it barely December.
Like what, this past Monday, the Monday before, something like that. Yeah. It was right after they had said the stimulus checks were going to come out. So when we got our tax return.
That's when we got our tax
that's
return.
A win right there. Right before. After
that was
holiday.
We got our 2019 tax return at the end of 2020. Thank you, government.
You're already behind, bro.
Tell me about it.
Just a little bit.
Just a little behind. Just a little. So anyway, I'm sure we'll get our stimulus, but we haven't gotten it yet. I heard all the ugly people got it first.
I was just gonna say.
So anyway,
looking for got to wait. We'll get that at the end of the year.
So, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put a nice little bow on this. We've pretty much come to the end of our show. I think next week. I think it's next week. If it's not next week, it's the week after. But we're going to have Roger Garza on our show. Roger Garza is the lead singer for Becoming Sons. He is also a businessman. He's the one that has Blue Orchid Design.
Yes, he's our sponsor.
Yes, he's our sponsor. Reason why we're having him come on our show, and Will doesn't know this. This is all brand new.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. The reason why he's coming on our show is because he's starting a podcast.
Oh, yeah. He won't be on this podcast.
He's actually going to be starting a podcast.
Got a text message. What day is that again?
Funny. He's actually going to be starting a podcast. His is going to be more about. Man, he told me, what was it? More about like issues that come to men. I think is like stuff like that. So his first guest is going to be yours truly. He's actually asked me to be his first guest. So we're kind of doing a trade-off, basically. Nice. We're gonna let him come on the show and kind of.
Does he expect us to sponsor his podcast now?
He hasn't said. I'm sure that's something we'll talk about some other time.
I guarantee he's gonna pick my brain.
Probably.
I guarantee. I'm gonna be like.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have this dumb look on my face.
So
I just got lucky.
So we're gonna have him come on the show. He's gonna tell us about his podcast that he has coming up, but we're also gonna just talk, man. We're going to talk about some of the things he's involved in, some of the other stuff he's got going on. Definitely going to talk about Sound for the Crown because he's the guy kind of behind it. So we've got a lot to talk about with Roger Garza, and we got a lot of awesome plans coming up. What I'm excited about is now we have a third person here that's going to be shooting us with ideas and stuff. So
that means you got to be a part of our production meetings every week.
Yeah. So we may have a show dedicated to reading, or I don't know. I'm open to whatever. I'm open to whatever.
I don't know if
but we have to know how to read.
I don't know if this is a book cast sort of audience.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So
Good point.
This week, I read Mexican Gothic, which was written by.
It's a good point. It's a
book
good point.
club on podcast.
Right. That's a good point. Anyway, but yeah,
it's there, but you have to have the audience for it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have some good stuff coming up this year. We're really excited about it. I know we're going to bring back Pastor Fuji at some point.
I want to bring on a guy from this church I'm attending right now.
Is he going to come from Houston?
He had to probably ride with me.
Okay.
But I'll be honest with you, man. Dude's kind of dope.
Yeah.
It was kind of dope. He like us, you know what I'm saying?
Cool. Another person I want to bring on, and he doesn't know this yet, so when he hears this podcast, he's going to be freaking out. But our very first subscriber.
Yes, our very first super fan.
Yeah, I want to bring him on the show.
Not a fan unless you have merchandise.
I know,
I'm
right?
Just saying.
He hasn't even bought a shirt.
You
or
gotta
anything.
buy a shirt. You gotta have a sticker. You gotta have a cup in order to call yourself a fan.
I know,
I'm
right?
Just saying.
Right?
How about this? He can't come on the show unless he has all three.
Oh, oh man, we'll put that out there to him. All right, well, we'll
challenge
see.
him like
we'll
that.
see what he says. But I do want to bring him on the show. He did pose a topic.
Yes, he has.
I want to talk to him about it, see if that's something he wants to talk about. I think it's a great topic.
Yes. We're going to talk about a topic in the month of February.
Yes, we're going back to couples again, but we're talking about what was it again? I'm sorry.
We're not going to give it up.
Don't want to give it up
We're not
just
gonna
yet.
give it up.
Okay.
We still got to iron everything out.
Yeah, but the plan is still to have couples come on, but we're gonna approach it a little differently.
This year's a whole different scenario.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll tell you, we're going to expand the boundaries this year.
Yes, for sure.
Because now we have a big old table.
Yeah, we
A
do.
big old round, a square table.
Yeah,
Is square? Is it
rectangle. It's a rectangle. Counter height rectangle
Rectangle
table.
rectangle
Yeah.
table. You know what I'm saying? We got a bench over here, a couple chairs.
Yeah, so it's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to it. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Melissa, do you have any final words that you want to share real quick while I get this thing pulled up?
No final words. Just thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to the year.
Awesome.
Well, I think you're gonna bring a fresh perspective to everything that we do here. I do believe at some point you and I will probably butt heads.
Probably.
I hope so.
But I think that's not gonna do anything but
That's how it be.
bring us more listeners, you know. And not only that, I think it's good to have debate. It's good to have differing opinions because you get to hear both sides of things, you know.
A friend of mine told me today that in a relationship, if there's not a debate within the relationship, it doesn't grow healthy.
No, that's true.
Healthy.
That's true.
Or healthily, whatever.
Yeah, I got you. I got what you were trying to say. Now, and I think you're right. So thank you everyone for joining us on the What's on My Mind podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can also find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts. Why does it always happen at the end?
I don't know. I don't think it likes you.
Always happens at the end.
Here, take this one.
Okay. My apologies to everybody. Okay, let's try this again, shall we?
Let's do it again.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the What's on My Mind podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts. But you can also find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or any other favorite podcast platform. Make sure you check us out on our official Facebook page at facebook.com/WOM podcast. That's facebook.com/WOMM podcast. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can also email us at wompodcast@gmail.com with questions and comments. So until next time, this has been Rob T.
It's Big Will.
It's Melissa.
You got a microphone.
I got her microphone.
It's the second time you've done that.
I know. Oh, let's try that one more time, shall we? This is Rob T.
It's Big Will.
And this is Melissa.
And you've been listening to What's on My Mind.